No, let's just get into it. So he's going, yeah, leave me alone. Then he runs up the mountainside with the great stone faces are, and he goes, then he's at the edge of the Hokage bench thingy, and they say, you have nowhere else to go, Sasuke. Ino makes her thing into her lips, ready to kiss him. Then he goes, then Sasuke bends back on the pole, and Sasuke falls off. He goes, ah, damn it, I have no one to get me. I know a white light comes and zips and grabs Sasuke. He says, what's up, Sasuke? He goes, how do you even know I was falling? Christian says, trust me, there was a giant cloud of dust when I was walking by, and I knew one thing. And catches him. And says, well, at least we made it, so, yeah. He says, well, Kakashi wants us to meet up, and also this is the fastest transport, air flying. Basically, I use wind style to make myself go faster. Christian propels himself going even faster, going da, 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 da. Then, out of nowhere, but then, when Naruto says, I made a new friend, and Naruto makes another friend, has another friend, but is way better than Sakura was. She's much sleeker. I can help them get Sasuke. And she's a Hyuga. So they can know. Her name is Akane Hyuga. Out of nowhere, the door, when Christian is over with Sasuke's over again, someone kicks down the door and Christian says, leave us alone, Naruto. But then two white eyes are in there. He goes, what the? And it's Akane walking through saying, I've been ordered to steal Sasuke. Christian says, nah, because I got I have one sentence to say to you. He says, and then somehow, why are my hands clapping? And her hands keep on clapping. He goes, I can make your hands clap. Christian says, now. Then he says, damn it. And says, yeet, and then just kicks Akane out of the room going, yeah. And that's how we do things over here. Sasuke says, I don't know how your sister doesn't have nightmares soon. He says, I don't know why either. That scares the crap out of almost everybody. What the hell? Dang. That was just Bakugo saying Baka. What? I was just doing this. Oh wait, it's Oikawa's turn. So he says Baka-sa. Wow. Christian says, whatever. Christian says, soon I have a feeling Naruto and Ino are gonna tie me and are gonna take me and Naruto's like 6 feet under, tie us up and hide us there so then they can get to you. But we should have, he says, alright guys, I'm about to get serious with this what if. I'm gonna start getting serious. It was fun at the beginning, but now it's time to get real serious. when Christian is walking around, all he hears is, "Demon, freak, you killed all their family." Christian says, "Does it look like I care? I didn't even do it, but whatever." Christian says, "Do you want a ninja's arrow to the face? Huh? Do you want a ninja's arrow?" He says, "That's right, you don't." He goes, they say, "Why, you little?" And they throw a giant boulder at him. Christian says, "Really? Really?" And says, "Won't you?" Christian says, "You really don't want this to happen." Christian crushes the boulder and they say, "You freak." He goes, Christian, damn it. Dang it. Oh yeah, that wasn't right. I did not want to put that on. Make sure you never heard that. Mute when you ever get to this part. I don't know why I ever played that. I forgot that song had swears in it. I completely forgot. I just remembered the song. I have apologies for that. I had no idea. So, back to the what if, so no one realizes what I just said, what the song just said. So, basically, he says, "You know, I'm really starting to get annoyed at this village. They're pretty dumb." He says, "Yeah." I'm gonna say this, Minato is probably the strongest in the village right now. I just wanted to say that for fun. When Christian walks home, Naruto's already in his room having fun. When he opens the door, he gets a death stare by Minato and Christian. He says, "What?" He sees Naruto actually crying in the background with blood all over her face. He says, "Who did that to her?" He says, "I don't know, Christian. Who did?" He goes, "Wow, you are so perceptive." Minato says, "Don't talk back. You know what you did." Christian says, "I actually don't. Now, would you like to tell me?" He says, "You beat up Naruto until she cried to her death." Christian, more like said, "Time to face the consequences of your failure." He says, "I don't want to hear it." He says, "You're gonna get her whatever she wants for the rest of the day. Or else." He says, "What are you gonna do?" Minato goes to punch him. Christian dodges. He goes, Oh, he said you could just do that." Christian says, Christian's eyes turn red into the QB-eyed and goes, and says, "Really?" When Minato goes to punch him, Christian and dodges. No. Minato goes to punch, Christian dodges. He goes, and goes to punch Minato right back. Minato dodges and punches him right in the nose. He goes, "Oh, damn it, what the hell, I didn't even hit her. She's just a faker." Then Minato cuts him with a kunai saying, "You're a liar. We even have the security proof." Christian looks and says, "I didn't do that." Minato kicks him in the face saying, "You're a liar. Go to your room and whenever Naruto needs something, you will do it for her." 5 minutes later, Naruto goes, "Christian, give me $100,000. Christian walks to the room saying, "No." He says, "I'll tell Dad and he'll kill you." Christian says, Christian, being the weirdest being a savage he is, pulls out his eyes and says, "Does it look like I care?" and plops them back in. And says, "So useless." He says, "Dad, Christian punched me again." He says, "No, you did not." And says, Rasengan! Hitting him with a Rasengan, hitting him. He goes, I didn't even do that! And don't you think this is a little too far for that? He goes, stop lying. You did that to her. Then the next day, Naruto says, make me breakfast, demon. Christian says, here, idiot, and slaps an egg on her face, saying, here. She says, Dad! And then Christian put the kunai to her throat, saying, you better shut up, because you are so annoying. I will kill you right now if you don't shut up. She goes, Dad, Christian threatening to kill me. Christian says, I'm in my room, you idiot. Minato says, yeah, Naruto, don't lie about that. Now I know you were lying about that, because he's literally in his room. Naruto, now that Christian can't do anything to her, because if he does, he gets absolutely killed, she can do whatever she wants to him. So she gathers Kiba, all her friends, all her people all the simps, and she tells them to beat him up. And he can't do nothing about it, because he ain't gonna want to get killed, but he might get killed by this anyways. Indra says, why do that? Why sit around? Christian says, because it's just gonna feel worse if I do something. And bruised and bloodied, not even late, and then walks home. Kushina yells, why are you late? Christian says, I don't know, maybe because your bratty ass daughter sent all her simps to come beat me up. She says, serves you right after what you did to her. Christian says, I didn't do anything. How do you know that's not a transformation jutsu? She goes, because it wasn't. You're the one who's probably most to do it. He goes, whatever, I'm going to bed. And when he walks by, Naruto trips him. He says, God flippin' damn it. Then one day, then again with his daily meetings by Naruto simps, one day something happened. With one quick thing over thing by Kiba, something happened. The worst happens. He goes. Then then they all go. Then nowhere Christian goes. This was even legal to upload it, then I think it's illegal to put it in a video. Then Naruto screams and cries saying, Mom, Dad! No, don't worry, there's no such thing as spring locks in Naruto, it's just the effects after her beatings up of him. She goes, Mom, Dad! They rush out saying, did that demon hurt you again? She says, no, worse. I think he might have died. Sasuke's walking by and sees this, and he hears Minato say, whatever, let him out here. Sasuke rushes over and kicks Minato in the face, saying, he's your son! What did he do to deserve this? Huh? She goes, oh, Sasuke, come! And goes to kiss him, and he slaps her in the face, saying, don't ever talk to me again. He says, wanna know what? How do you know that? Naruto can use shadow clones. Wanna know what? Naruto knows the transformation jutsu. Wanna know what? Everything else. Wanna know else? Sasuke walks up to Naruto. She says, ooh, you gonna give me a kiss? He wipes the blood off her face, saying, this is fucking paint! He says, that wasn't even him. You guys are literally terrible parents. They realize their mistakes and then start to burst out crying. And then Minato slaps Naruto in the face so hard that she starts crying, saying, you hit your own daughter? Huh? She says, you made your brother almost die. She goes, what? I never cared about that demon. But then, that was the biggest mistake she ever said. That was the biggest mistake she ever did. I know all they hear is, no! Why? Why? I don't... Nice. Thanks, Andrew. All they hear is... Out of nowhere, sparkles start to appear on Christian. Then and while the music's playing, all the sparkles keeps on coming on him. And then he gets up. He goes, his eyes are like pitch black, and then there's one white dot. He goes, then he goes, would that happen? He goes, me and Christian are like, what is that? They hear and they see him laughing with that noise. Then they try and know what he's saying. Then Sasuke says, Christian, slow it down and speed up what you're laughing about, and then we'll hear it, what he's actually doing. Then Sasuke starts to record it. Then he puts it up times 2.5 speed, and they hear. Pretend like this is over. Then, out of nowhere, they all hear another noise. Everyone's wondering what this is. Then Christian starts to go. Then Sasuke records it, and then he's gonna decode it. Then, one day later, Sasuke comes to the house saying to see what he said, to see what happened, and presses the button and the record button when he decoded it, and this is the decoded thing. This is what they hear. Kushina says, Minato, what did you put him through? He says, what did you do? Because there's no way he would have went that far to go insane. She said, oh, yeah. A day later, Christian's got his sanity back. He says, and doesn't even talk to Minato. He talks to Kushina. Whenever Minato tries to talk to him, he says, Mom, is there a ghost in this room? Kushina says, I don't know, honey. I don't think there is. Christian says, whatever, I'm going on my mission today. When they're there, but when Kakashi says, when they get there, Kakashi says, the 4th Hokage won't give us a when he's about to say mission, Christian says, who's the 4th Hokage? You mean the ghost? Yeah, there's no ghost here. He says, I don't even know who the 4th Hokage is. The 4th Hokage, he says, that's your father. Christian says, that's not my father. He goes, yes he is. Christian says, no he's not. My father isn't dumb enough to believe my dumb sister about fake blood paint. He says, he turns to Naruto saying, what happened? Sasuke says, allow me. He says, so basically, Naruto put fake blood on her face and said that Christian beat her up for hours. Then, Minato beat him up for a while and believed the daughter, until finally, then Naruto lied even more on one day, and then he went insane. And then one day he saw Christian outside, screaming in pain, and Naruto and Minato not caring. Then I kicked Minato in the face because of how mad I was, because I know that he was behind it. And now officially, and then Christian lost his sanity for a day, couldn't even do anything. Then the next day he's normal. He says, so you could blame the 4th Hokage's daughter for this. He says, well, I have you guys as forms of the tuning exams. Christian says, really? And says, awesome. Minato talks to Naruto in a room asking her why she did this. She says, she yells and says, those two demons shouldn't be on the same team as Sasuke. It's not fair. I should be on a team with Sasuke. Minato says, well, Sasuke doesn't have the same feelings for you. Sasuke doesn't like you. You have to accept that. You have to accept it. He doesn't like you. Alright, I'm gonna say Sakura's still alive and she's still on the team. I don't care. Because then it's gonna ruin Sarada. Sarada's not gonna be there. They just really don't like her. She's annoying. So they all get the tuning exams worm, and and when Christian gets home, Minato apologizes. He says, it's okay. I know it wasn't your fault. He says, I forgive all of you, and I don't even care. I just don't want to remember this. He says, really? Christian says, no. He goes, I'm kidding. I really don't care. Hagurama says, that was a nice thing. Christian says, but I'm really starting to get tired of this village. Everyone treats me like a demon. Naruto's mad because I got on the same team as Sasuke, along with Naruto. And Sakura, who's kind of annoying, but whatever. We can go whatever. I think I might leave it one day. He says, if you do that, we'll still be with you either way. He says, thanks. Naruto's also getting this since he always getting called the demon. And Sasuke, alright, well Sasuke's just getting fed up with everyone. Except for the whole Uchiha clan is gone. I want to say they still somehow got massacred. Itachi's out of the village and Sasuke still wants freaking revenge. So they really just don't like this village in general. And Sasuke is sick of all the attention when he doesn't really want attention. He just doesn't like anyone. Like every girl won't stop. Naruto tried to kiss him when I was basically almost. He says, well, whatever we'll always be on your side for the decision. Christian says, I also can't let the 4th Hokage, my dad, know that you guys are in me with along. He says, also, Indra, did you really input the Sharingan? Because I've never actually used it. He says, yes, I did. You just have to awaken it. He says, you must have a terrible experience. Christian says, wasn't that a traumatizing experience? Oh, wait, he says, wait a minute. Indra says, weren't your eyes red then? Did anything feel in slow motion? Christian says, yes, but I still couldn't with all the flurry attacks. He says, that means you did awaken your Sharingan. He says, yes. Christian's only at 1 Tomoe, though. So, one day, Christian says, Sasuke, I'd like to spar. He says, right. Christian, they both yell, Sharingan! Sasuke says, how do you have the Sharingan? Christian says, Indra implanted it in me. Since Indra's technically the founder of the Uchiha clan. He goes, oh. They both have a Sharingan battle going. Boom! He goes, having a nice fun clash. They all let Naruto join in and they're all practicing their chakra control. Naruto would, on 3 days before the Chunin exams, Naruto would master the QBI form along with Christian mastering his 1 Tomoe. And they're going on to 2 mastering his 1 Tomoe, and so would Sasuke. And with Christian already having control of the QBI form too, he can't combine the Sharingan and that. He says, I can, I'll just have the 9-tails chakra, but I won't have the slit-like eyes. My Sharingan will still be normal. So, one day, oh yeah, Christian's got nice red hair instead of the blonde. So, when they get to the Chunin exams, they're ready. All 4 of them walking, going, da-na. And Sakura has gotten less annoying. She's gotten more nicer to Naruto and Christian since she realizes that Naruto is pretty much a brat, and Sasuke, really, she's starting to accept that Sasuke doesn't like her. But she still wants Sasuke. So, basically, when they walk in, they're like, da-na, da-na. And when, basically the written exam would go pretty easy for them, Chris would just cheat, Kagura would just say all the answers. They'd all help him out. He goes, okay, and finishing it, beating Minato's time. And Sasuke right behind him, Sakura right behind Sasuke, and Naruto right behind them. The 40 pass going, da-na. And before the thing starts, Konohamaru wants to give the interview. And when the scene where Sasuke goes to, when Sasuke says, I'm gonna screw you, Christian says, damn, Sasuke. Christian goes, Sasuke says, do you want me to screw you too, Christian? He says, bring it, Sasuke. They says, bring it, let's go. Naruto says, yeah, let's go into it. She says, guys, stop fighting. Christian goes, fine, whatever. Christian is sitting down in his area when when Christian's got his eyes closed and he doesn't know anyone, when he senses someone here, he opens his eyes saying, what are you doing in my swamp? He goes, this isn't a swamp. He says, I know, I watched a movie and now I like to repeat that line, it's funny. What are you doing in my swamp? Christian literally is having a good time meditating because it's nice and quiet. Somehow he starts to float. Everyone says, how the hell is he floating? Christian says, Garo would put up sand there. Christian says, boy, you better get that sand out of here. He says, you, emo boy. He goes, He, using his lightning palm, saying, did you just do that? Did you just do that? Did you just put, yo, dirty sand right in my face? Huh? Did you or not? He said, Garo tries to bind him up. Christian puts him in a genjutsu. He goes, nice try, buddy. And gets out of the sand going, easy. Then the team gets ready to go. Then they go. When they do this in their first, Naruto would go off to the bathroom and get caught by a rain ninja. Christian says, Katon Gokakyu. Shooting in the forest to maybe free some land, but it immediately has a hole through the fireball with a giant wind blast. Sasuke kicks Naruto to the left and picks up Sakura. Christian says, wind style, wind air barrier, creating an air barrier blocking the attack, going, it's Ash. He says, nice Christian, you learned the wind, you knew the wind barrier. He says, thanks Ashura. Then disappears going, ah! Rushing at the figure, punching them, kneeing them, then elbowing them in the face, giving them a bloody nose, then kneeing them in the face going, ah! Then stomps on them going, ah! Then Christian backs up saying, Sasuke says, nice, I think they're defeated. Christian says, nope, not even close. Sakura says, but all those punches. Christian says, that was nothing to this guy. Christian says he could probably took stabbing 1,000,000 times and still be alive. He said, Christian with full speed going, about to cut, but then he gets blasted back by the wind blast. He goes, and hit into the tree. He goes, and then falls to his knees. He goes, then he rushes back to Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. He goes, now Orochimaru releases bloodlust. Christian goes, no, don't fall to this, don't fall to this. Then Indra kicks him in the face from the psyche. Ashura says, elder brother, why'd you do that? He says, this is gonna get him out of the bloodlust. Kicks him, Christian goes, Pugh! And spits out blood. Sakura says, are you okay? He says, yep, perfectly fine. He says, and said, thanks Indra. He goes, no problem. Christian goes, ah! And then punches Sasuke in the face, then knees Naruto, and trips Naruto, then lightly slaps Sakura, saying, get out of the stupid trance, you guys! Then they all rush, going, all working as a team. Christian says, Sakura, I can tell you have good potential. He says, wind style. Christian says, Sakura, jump up. Sakura would jump up, and then he blasts her forward. She says, with chakra in her fist, goes, cha! Connecting. She said, Orochimaru says, she's identical. She's like Tsunade. With this punch, he goes, Sakura goes, cha! Yeah! Naruto goes, now I'm scared. Christian says, Christian and Sasuke say, Kadon, Kokage! Creating a fireball, then Orochimaru gets hit by but doesn't do a lot. Christian and Sasuke both say, Sharingan! Then they both rush. He says, how can that kid have Sharingan? He goes, out of nowhere, Orochimaru would grab Christian and start to choke him. Christian says, Christian says, Sage. He says, Sage what? Christian says, Sage 6 best. And then puts him into his mindscape. They also, Hagoromo, Indra, Asura, and Karan give him a death stare going. He goes, what the? And they give him a beat down in the thing. They go, and Orochimaru's hit multiple times. He goes, he goes, thanks guys. He goes, they go, right. Christian goes, ha! With a Sharingan and cuts Orochimaru in the eye. He goes, ah! He says, then with 6, he's getting so much excitement. Then, boom! His Sharingan's open into two Tomoe. He goes, ah! Sasuke with excitement also bursts into two Tomoe. They go, ah! Christian says, Sun and Moon style! Sun and Moon Steel style! When Moongeist strike! With the moonlight comes rushing down and punches Orochimaru right in the face. Then he goes, Moongeist beam, and hits him with a giant Moongeist beam, hitting Orochimaru. Yeah, I'm taking some inspiration from Pokemon from like Sun and Moon. Christian goes, His eyes turn into like a galaxy. He jumps in the air and goes, Sunsteel strike! And punches Orochimaru into a wall. Then he binds him up with a chakra chain and says, Sasuke! Sasuke goes, Kadon Gokaku! And Indra says, nice, you're using our techniques! Using the Sun and Moon techniques. Sakura goes, Cha! Right in the stomach of Orochimaru. He goes, Naruto says, Shadow Clone Barrage! Punching him, his Shadow Clones basically go, this is the first time Naruto's ever gonna do this. Naruto goes, Naruto goes, Naruto and the Shadow Clones go, alright, that's too fast. Let's go with Giorno's. Naruto says, then Orochimaru goes, then Naruto goes, then Christian jumps in and goes, then Sasuke and Sakura jump in. And then they all yell. Then Christian goes, and then with one more punch, knocks Orochimaru straight out, is what they thought. Then he turns into mud. Christian says, they're all drained from that. Christian says, that was so badass, but now I'm really mad that that was a clone. Out of nowhere, Sasuke is bitten. He goes, then Christian is about to get bitten. Christian gets bitten as well. He goes, he says, I could use 2 Uchihas. Then he 5-prong steals Naruto and kicks Sakura to the left into a tree. He says, now I'll leave and take my leave. With Christian and Sasuke screaming in pain, Sakura says, clone Jutsu, shadow clone Jutsu, creating 2 clones. Naruto's team rushes over saying, no, Sakura, what happened? All they hear is screaming in pain. They go, ah! Naruto says, Sakura, what happened? She says, why do you care? She says, they're my siblings, of course I care. She says, well, Naruto got 5-prong... hello, Timothy Johnson. So, this is not a remake, just saying, as you might have saw in the title. This is like a new thing that I want to do. If it was like not, mine's is like a chapter story. Goddamn, progressing with Naruto, with the story of Naruto. And right now we're in the Chunin exams with the actual what if would happen. Oh, sadly they left. Whatever. So basically, he gets. She says Naruto got 5-prong sealed, and Christian and Sasuke got bitten by Orochimaru. She said, and Sakura said there's some kind of special seal. They look at both of their necks and see that there's a mark on it. He goes, and then until finally Sasuke and Christian pass out. Naruto brings Christian, and Naruto brings Naruto, and Sakura brings Sasuke, and they put him under a tree. So he says, wind style, air barrier. And no, he tries to put as much, they try and build like a barrier around it so no one can attack them. With Naruto knowing water style, it helps a lot. Because then it's not coming from her mouth, don't worry. It's not gonna, it's coming from like chakra from her hands. He goes, putting more. Then Sakura asks if she can put some more chakra in.